are so close to 1,000 that I kind of don't know what to do. Like, I don't know, it's exciting. So as of filming this, I just need 3 more to hit 1,000. So if you have been here for a while, thanks for being here. Welcome back. If you're new, please like and subscribe. So today, I thought I would do something a little different, try something out. So it's a Saturday. How do I relax? I do some sewing and I also do some sipping. The hubby and I went to Deep Eddy Vodka earlier today. Like I said, we live in Austin, so it's literally down the road from us, the distillery, and they have a great room where they mix drinks and you can have some barbecue and some different things like that. We just kind of hung out for a while. Greatness. Now we've kind of just been hanging out, but now it's getting closer to evening, and I had plans for a couple of things this weekend, but they haven't really formulated. So we're gonna see what's gonna go on. So I poured me a nice glass of this Dow Cabernet Sauvignon, and I'm gonna sip it, and we're gonna sew. And I figure I'd set a timer for like 30 minutes, and when we get there, that's the end of the video, right? We'll kind of see what I get done. So hope that works out, and if you want to stick around with me and talk, that's great. I'm gonna take a sip. And we're gonna sew. So today, my plan was to start the Palmer pants from Mood. I've had the fabric for a while. I just haven't gotten to cutting it out. I cut it out earlier in the week, and then I've just been so busy this week that I haven't done anything with it. So today I was like, I'm gonna sew. And I got all the stuff out and realized I did not have any thread to go with this fabric. So I've ordered thread. Let me show you the fabric. It is this Ponte. Their Ponte is super soft. It's not overly thick. I think it's just gonna make a really great pant. But it's right here. It feels so good, but I don't have any. I have something much lighter than this, and I'm just afraid that if there's any top stitching or anything, it's just gonna look awful like that. So I've ordered some other thread. So my goal was to get the Palmer pants done this weekend. That's not gonna happen. So I moved on to a shirt that I wanted to make to go with it. Which brings us to this lovely fabric that's hanging back here. I just washed it, so we're gonna iron it and kind of talk through some things. The pattern that I'm making is Simplicity 9706. I am gonna make it with the cute little sleeves there, okay? And I think it'll look great with those pants. It's a top that I feel like you can dress up or dress down, and I think this fabric is just perfect for it. This is a rayon challis. At one point I was gonna put a lining behind it, but I think it's gonna be okay. I really do. So, especially with the draping and all on this one, I've decided not to do the lining. We're gonna see how that turns out for me, okay? So what do I need to do next? Well, I've already cut out the pattern pieces, but I always like to iron them, get them nice and flat. And I need to iron my fabric too. Like I said, I just washed it, and I kind of have everything situated a little different right now because of filming this, trying to get everything in one shot. Okay, we're just gonna iron this and kind of talk through some things. I would love to know what you're working on. Put that down in the comments. That would be great. I'm warming up my iron. Yeah, that's perfect. Because it's a little crinkled. It's not super wrinkly, but it's wrinkly enough. Oh, this is so soft, y'all. It was soft before, but after washing it, I just think it's gonna be an amazing top. It's just gonna look great. I think this is called Central Park Spring or something like that on Mood. You know I'm obsessed with Mood. Mood has a million things that I love. I did also buy, you know how I keep saying I'm done with Joann's, I'm not gonna go anymore, but I guess I'm just being dramatic because, okay, so one of the things I was really excited about when right before they announced they were closing, was they were getting Draper James fabrics. I love Draper James. I love the whole aesthetic of that. I love Reese Witherspoon, you know, the whole thing. So she has gorgeous stuff on her website. Now we get fabrics that look just like the ones that she has on the website. So now we can make some of these $200 dresses on our own, right? For a fraction of the cost. So I'd already bought a couple of things when they announced they were closing. I was like, no. Like right before. That was about the time that their fabrics came in because they were advertising them on the website and then all of a sudden they showed up. So I bought a couple of things that I was like, oh, I'm going to do something cool with this. Don't know what yet, but I'm going to. It's just too pretty to pass up. And then they announced they were closing. And at times you can find some of it, sometimes you don't. But then, like I said, they're emptying their warehouses, so they're sending me stuff all the time. And I was on the Draper James website, and I found several things that I just really, really liked. And I was like, if I could find fabrics like that or similar to it at Joann's, I'll go ahead and buy those and then look for patterns that will help me make these dresses similar. And I think that will make me super happy. So I did stop by there. I should have it on Wednesday. Yeah. And what I did was a lot of the fabrics I wanted, because I had bought a couple of knits and a couple of cotton pieces that were nice, but I had not found a few things. So I went over to where the Batiks are, B-A-T-I-K-S. And if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. So technically these fall into quilting cottons, but they're also like a little nicer cottons. They're more like a premium cotton. I've made clothes from those before. So I think that this could make some really cute stuff. Let me finish ironing this and I'll get that out for you so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm just loving this fabric. Yes, it is a little see-through, but I don't think it's going to be bad enough to need a lining. I think it's going to be just perfect the way it is. So it's very lightweight. It's going to be great for spring, summer in Texas, where we have it warm. It was getting real warm today. I don't know if we're going to hit 90 or not yet. We have already this year, several times. I think it's supposed to be a really nice week. It rained the last few days, and I was like, my campus has a lot of outdoor area, and I'm one of the people that kind of goes back and forth between places, and so that was a lot. I just always have my rain gear with me, and we kind of trudge back and forth all the time, and yeah. I've just got this pressed. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect because there'll be some pressing that goes on throughout, but at least now I know it's going to lay nice and flat. There we go. And actually the first cutting I'm going to do is with the entire length. So I'm just going to lay this over here on my cutting table and I'll move the camera over here while I start cutting. All right, let me grab those Draper James fabrics. That I picked up. Okay, these are my latest ones I picked up. This is a fabric that she definitely has on her website. She has lots of different dresses. I had to get it in 2 lengths. I bought enough, like a dress, a top, whatever. But it's really nice. It's a good thick cotton, but it has a soft hand to it. So I'm looking to copy a few things off of her website and make something really pretty with this. I mean, she just has gorgeous fabrics. This is also something similar to what she had online. It's also a Draper James. It's like a ditzy floral. Kind of reminds you of a Liberty fabric in a way. I think a cute top out of this would be amazing. Maybe even a little dress. I'm not sure yet, but I do want to copy some of the things she has online. Give me some ideas. This I think is really cute. It has little stars embroidered. And I found lots of examples, not only from Draper James, but from other places of this embroidery style that's going on. Lots of shirts out there that I think I could make for this. My fabric that brought me in there was this lemons. Now on her website, she has a lemon with a blue background, which I loved. Now I love yellow, so this doesn't really bother me. But I bought about, I think I ended up with like 5.5 yards of this because I took whatever was left on the bolt. I have an idea for a sundress I want to make. I'll post a picture on here of the one on her website that I think is so adorable and I would love to copy. So Tell me what your thoughts are on these Draper James fabrics, because I'm obsessed with it, and I probably shouldn't be. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's iron my pattern pieces so that we're ready to lay everything out and cut it. I don't know if you iron your pattern pieces, but I do, because they're always super crinkled up like this. And that way I know they're laying nice and flat, and all will be well. Nice cab in the afternoon on Saturday. All right, let me move this over here. Draper James Fabrics. All right, there's not a ton of pieces for this. Again, this is Simplicity 9706. This usually doesn't take very long either to press this out. Let's see, a little curliness going on here. But you know what I'm talking about, how it just ends up really nice. It ends up all folded up. Now it's not, okay? Now I've got all the wrinkles out of it so that it lays nice and flat as I am cutting it. And I'm kind of an old-fashioned cutter. I do pin my stuff to my fabric. I just know me, I've never been a great cutter, you know, like I can't cut a straight line without some kind of guide. I'm not great at any of that. So I need a lot of stability in that, and that helps me with that. Those of you who can do it with pattern ways, I think that's fantastic. And I've done some of that. Just not quite so sure of myself right now on that. All right, let's get another piece. This is a giant piece. This is all the front bodice. And it's like kind of crazy. You don't see them like this very often where, yeah, it's just kind of weird, you know? So this one definitely has to be laid out just on the open fabric. Which I don't get a lot of patterns like that either. Sometimes I follow what it tells me to do on a pattern as far as layout, and then other times I try to do what I think is better. And then a lot of times I'll end up with extra fabric, which is great. Like the Palmer pant I laid out in a little different way, and I ended up with probably, I don't know, 20 inches of extra fabric, plus some other scraps. I don't know what I'll ever do with that, but we'll see. You never know. Oh, this one got a little wet. I don't know where it got wet from. Oh, the iron may be dripping on it a little bit. That's okay. Let's see if I can just get all of this flattened out. Tell me what you do. Do you flatten out all of your patterns? Do you always pre-wash your fabric? Because I know a lot of people are either way, you know? I've known people that are very adamant one way or the other. And this is just kind of the direction that I'm going on things. Let's see how many patterns. I don't have that many left. Let me just take most of these over here. I think there's one more hiding. I can find it. It's a little piece. It's definitely hiding under there somewhere. Okay. Let's get this all laid out. I've got a sleeve here, since I am doing that. It's somewhere between a cap and a short sleeve. And this pattern honestly makes me a little nervous. I've made several patterns of this sizing, but it's like at the top of regular pattern sizes. And I've lost just enough weight to make some of those. And then sometimes I really do need that more curvy fit for women's sizes. I am wearing a dress today though that I did not make, but that I bought almost 3 years ago now. And I wore it then, but I haven't been able to wear it since. And so having lost weight, I tried it on today. And it was the perfect dress to just throw on and go have a drink and chill out with my husband. Okay, oh, I found a little piece. I'm gonna do that little piece, and then we're gonna start laying out my fabric, get this thing cut out today. And I'll try to give you guys some reports on where I'm at on that. Yeah, this one's really little. It is very wrinkled though. All right, she's nice and pressed now. Woo! All right, let's kind of move things around here. Like I said, this is not my usual setup. I usually have a TV back in this corner, but it just kind of quit working. Made me super sad, but I ordered another one. It's supposed to be here on Tuesday. I know that seems crazy and wasteful probably, but I need something back here with me when I'm sewing. I don't know if you can see my cutout table. It's a little messy right now. Okay, so let's get our fabric laid out, and then we can start cutting this to make our cute little blouse. But I'm hoping to, I don't know, I might be able to finish a lot of it tomorrow. We'll see. I don't want to put myself in too much of a corner on the weekends, because I am so busy at work all week that sometimes I just need just some time, you know, to not do all that. And yeah, it's always so hard. This used to be a dining room table for us, and we moved it in here for me to use. Sometimes I'll pull it out from the wall, which is what I'm about to do, so that I can get to the other side. But it's very long. Okay, if you can see how long that is, it's very, very long, and it enables me to have a lot of room to lay things out. Okay, let's get this nice and straightened up here. There we go. Continue to straighten. There's a lot of stuff here in my way. All right. Well, just about enough to cut out the pieces that need to be on the whole part of everything. Let me see what they're showing on the directions. This might be close to 60 inches wide, I'm not sure. I don't remember, I'll be honest. But even with 60 inch, they want you to do it like this. So the first big piece we're gonna get out is this crazy piece, and it is cut a little different. So what I'm gonna do is pull this one here. Let's put you, oh goodness, I gotta get you straightened out, friend. Let's get you all straightened out. I'm gonna get this super straightened out. This may be kind of a weird piece to lay out first. All right, time for my pins. It's open, there it is. Okay. Let me get another sip. I feel like I need that right now too. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna go around to the other side again because I don't feel like this is completely straightened out the way it needs to be. I'll move some things out of the way. I had some things up under this table. Now, of course, oh, here comes my dog. So he has figured out where I'm at. He has a bed under here. He's probably like, why is she close to my bed? So now I think we're good. Okay. Now I'm gonna come this here. Now, if you've never laid out a pattern, or if you have and you're wondering, how do I make it lay out right? Really gotta get the selvage nice and straight. And then I would take and I measure here to the selvage. It's like not quite 19. You see on the other end. Just a tad. Okay, I might have been too much. Hang on. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, let's see. Okay, come here. Okay, I think that's just about perfect right there. I measured that arrow right up against my selvage. And like I said, I'm an old-fashioned girl. So I'm gonna pin it and we'll go from there. Do you use pattern weights or do you pin? Do you do a combination of both? I'd love to know what everybody does. And see, this round shelly, it can be really kind of slippery on you a little. So for me, this is what I want to do, you know. The last dress I made was a rayon batik, and man, it was hard to cut it, and then after it was cut, I'd go back and find kind of where it slipped, and I needed to kind of correct the cutting, and whew, that made it hard. So a good cutting, oh, there goes my dogs. I think a good cutting is key, you know, to what you're making. You gotta get it just right, or it's not gonna make sense. Okay, let's see here. Make sure all the bubbles are out. You notice I kind of kept my yardstick there to keep it in place, because I know me, and I know I'll slip and move things, and it will be most unpleasant. But, and yeah, I do. I like lots of pins. And for me, that just helps me figure things out, make sure that I am cutting everything really good and making it really nice. All right, I'm gonna come around this side now, pin the other part of it. Hello. Should we take another sip? I think so. Another sip would be great. Because you gotta enjoy this, even the cutting out process, which is arguably probably not the funnest process. It can be a little difficult. So let's enjoy it. All right. Pin. I'm gonna do one over here, because I just get kind of freaked out. Okay, let's see if I can get the rest of it. Okay, now, what other pieces did it say to label with us? There are several that are just one. Looks like it's telling me to do a sleeve. And 5 and 4. Where are you? Okay, here's 4. Here's a sleeve. And here's 5. Yay for me. Found them all. Right, 5. Oh, I see. Yes, you're kind of another wacko one here. And this is where it's also helpful for me, because I like to get everything laid on here and make sure it all fits right so that I don't waste any fabric. So now I'm going to be able to pull this, because I don't have a table that's wide enough for this fabric, this way so I can see the other selvage. Yes. Okay. Now I can measure to this selvage. Get everything nice and straight and laid out without fear that I'm messing this up, you know? So it's all good. I know it looks wrinkled under there right now, but it'll be fine because we'll straighten it all back out. Okay. All right, so let's pin 5 there. Where is this one? This one's going here. Okay. Which I guess we're just doing the first one, and then we'll do another one on our fabric when it's folded over. Okay. There's that one. Also want to put you here, and we'll measure all that in a moment. And then this Teflon piece is going right in here. Oh, yes. Feel pretty good about that layout. Doesn't waste a ton of fabric. Makes me feel good. I kind of want to go over there and pull that over there, because it is bothering me a little. If that's what I'm going up on here. So maybe I did mess that up. I don't know. It really feels pulled. Hang on, let's unpin you. There we go. See? So I like to pin, because it could be off by just a little bit. Let me undo you. Should make sure it's nice and flat here. Okay, now I'm gonna go measure. Now this one's not as far from the selvage, so I'm probably just gonna use my ruler, because that's a little easier. Let's take another sip. So arguably laying all your fabric out and cutting it is probably the part that people don't like the most. Which I've seen tons of people batch cut, and I've done that before. I've cut out like 3 or 4 patterns in a day, and then I start sewing. And I think that's a great way to break up your work, you know? I'm not putting this red line over here by the fabric, because it's red line and white fabric, and that could be horrible. Okay. So let's get my little handy dandy glue out here. Make sure you're flat. Okay. Make sure you're all laid out the way I want it. See, this rayon is weird. Okay. I'm gonna measure you, friend. Looks like we're right at 11.5 on that end. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna pin it down. Pin, pin, pin. Pin, pin, pin. Okay. Yeah, like I said, put in the comments what you're working on right now and how you like to cut out patterns. I would love to hear it. And if you're like me, if it's something that you look forward to on the weekends because it helps you relax, I would love to hear about that. This week's gonna be really hectic for me. I've got a lot going on, and I've already decided I've got to find some time in there to sew during the week because it helps me. It helps me just kind of cope, you know. And so, all right, let's get you. Phew, this fabric is not fun for laying all these things out. All right, let's get you right here, and then let's measure where my line is again. That's perfect. Okay. I've gotten pretty good at laying out patterns. Like I can kind of eyeball what needs to happen and then measure it and get it where it needs to be. Sometimes though, I'm like, there's like an optical illusion going on and I'm like, I can't get this straight. But it's so important to make sure your grain is straight on your cutting, or your patterns are just not gonna lay right, you know? Your fabric's not gonna look on you the way you want it to look. And I don't want that to happen to me or to you. So make sure you're taking the time to do that. I will say that was something my mom taught me and was like, you have to do this. So I really abided by that. Okay, friend, one more piece on this and then we can cut. I'll probably use the rotary cutter on this. I will have to do some moving around. I have two big mats under here, but they don't go the full table. They go pretty well, but not the full table. Let me get the yardstick. Here's the yardstick. And you could do this with a tape measure, but I kind of like using the yardstick. Ooh, that was awful on that one. I should not have bragged. Wait, let's do this. I don't think it would have mattered, but let's do it like this. I think that'll make me feel better. I don't know, do you ever get some weird quirks about stuff? 17. Yeah, that's just about perfect right there. So we're gonna go ahead and pin her on. Let's see, I'm gonna go right here so that it doesn't move. What was I thinking? There we go. So see, I use pattern weights. They just don't stay on there when I'm cutting out. Ooh, that's a little low down here onto the selvage. I'm gonna move you. Oh, like I said, I really like to take my time on this because it makes me nervous that, you know, just from not taking time with a pattern, how I messed up the dream, you know, garment that I wanted to make. I hear my dog again. He's coming. He's wondering what I'm up to. Okay, that's about perfect. You know, it's better to just take the time with the cutting and make sure it's right. Because I've had problems before where I had to recut because I didn't do it right or I didn't pay attention to what was happening. And so here we are. All right. Let's do this. Oh yeah, I'm feeling very good about this. I just love this fabric. I think it's gonna look amazing for that shirt. Yeah, so let's cut it. Here's my rotary cutter. I'll take another before cutting. I have a Ulta. I did have another one at one point, but it just wasn't as sturdy and didn't last as long. But I have an Ulta and I guess that's how you say it, Olfa, O-L-F-A. I like it a lot. Alright, we're just at 30 minutes. I'm gonna cut a little bit and talk, and then I will post an update video soon of where I'm at on this. Let's cut you, my sleeve. And I will be making another sleeve, and I'll need to mirror it, so I'll have to turn this over. But, okay, there we go. See, that slipped a little on me. This kind of fabric, you have to really be careful. Cutting and sewing like a cotton is so easy, but on these, it's a little more painstaking, and you have to be a little more careful, I feel like. Really check everything as you go. Get this sleeve out. Ooh. Okay. All right, friend. Let's go right over here. Here. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay. Do any of the rest of you talk to your rotary cutter and your fabric as you're doing your cutting? Yeah, a little mistake there. Okay, straighten out. Nice. I think she's free. She is. Okay, looks good. All right, now notches. I did buy a notcher. I love that thing. I don't know what I did with it. I taken it with me somewhere, so notcher. If you haven't bought one, I love it. Because I'm not great with the scissors doing the little notches. And you need them there. They're great guides. So, let me notch this. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a hole punch right there. And the notch is there. 2 notches here, so that's the back side. If you don't know that, your front side is a single notch, your double notch is the back. All right, she's all cut out, friends. Sleeve 1, 2 notches there, a notch over here. We're ready to go. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna have a seat real quick. It's getting hot in here. This room gets so hot in the afternoons. So I may have to take a break before I finish cutting out the whole thing. But I'm gonna all get it all cut out today. And I will finish it. I'll at least start sewing it this weekend. Sundays are pretty lazy around here. So I'll probably get up tomorrow and start putting pieces together. So I don't think it's gonna take me too much longer to cut out. Those were kind of the large pieces to do. There were just a few more that are doubled over on fabric. So I think that'll all come out pretty easy, and I hope to see you soon. Like I said, if you haven't yet, like and subscribe so we can sip and sew together. Maybe next time you can grab a glass and sip and sew with me and just cut out your pattern while I'm talking, and we'll have a great time. So I love having this channel, and I love talking to all of you, and I love sewing. So I hope you have a great day and happy sewing.